my name's Sam. Welcome to my channel. I needed something quick and easy to film today, so this is the I'll get to it later tag. I wasn't technically tagged by anyone, but my friend Ashley Hart's Reading recently posted this video, and she tagged me in something like a month ago that I just never got around to, so I'm doing this one instead. Question number 1 is a classic you've been meaning to read forever, and I have these two really pretty special editions of Emma and Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And I've never read anything by Jane Austen. If I'm being honest, I don't typically love classics, and I didn't really buy these to read them. I bought them because I thought they were pretty, and I don't know when I will read them or if I will read them, but I probably should read them. So maybe one day I will. And I'm not going to tell you what these are about, and it's not because I don't know what they're about. It's because you probably know what they're about, right? Question number 2 is a book on your shelf you haven't yet read. And I mean, I have quite a few, but I'd say the one I'm most excited for is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I can't remember when I bought this. I bought this a few months ago, and I saw it in like Walmart, and I wanted to buy it, but I wanted to see if I would like it first because I wasn't really too sure. I'm not usually like a romantic-y reader, but I had seen like other booktubers that I follow who don't usually read or like romantic-y really like this. So I started reading the first chapter in Walmart and I was hooked. I just hadn't had a chance to continue. So this is probably one book that I'm the most excited to read. And this is about Ceres, is how I think you say it, who is a thief in her world and accidentally opens a gateway between worlds and is transported to a different world. And honestly, that's really all I know about this. Question number 3 is a book you recently got that you haven't yet read. And I got 3 books for Christmas, but I'm going to mention Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dineman. And this is following Carl and this cat. And there's an alien invasion and the systematic exploitation of all the survivors for a sadistic intergalactic game show, which honestly sounds hilarious, and I'm really excited to read this. Question number 4 is a book you've had forever, and I don't know if you can see, but these books are the ones that I've owned or library books that I haven't yet read. It's hard to, I want to look at them, but then also look at you, and if I look this way, you won't be able to hear me. So, one second. A lot of those are books that friends have lent me that I've been meaning to get to, but the one that I've owned the longest would be A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I read The 7-Year Slip and really loved it. It was one of my favorite books in the year that I read it. And then I read Dead Romantics and didn't really like it as much. But before I had read that one, I had already bought this one, and then I haven't heard as good things about this, so I've kind of been putting this one off. Definitely been procrastinating on this one because I wasn't really sure if I'd like it. I'm mainly waiting for the audiobook because if I can listen to a book on audio, I feel like I can do other things while I do it, and then I'm not putting like all of my time. Like it feels less wasteful if I don't like a book I read on audio than if I don't like a book I read physically, which I know makes no sense, but that's just the logic that I've decided on. And this is about a romance between someone who is a fictional character in a book that this girl loves, and I think she gets like her car breaks down somewhere, and then she realizes that she's in this novel, and then she has a romance between someone in the book. Yeah. Okay, question number 5 is a book a friend recommended, and I just mentioned that I have a lot of books that I've gotten from friends. I'd say the 2 I'm most excited to read is Evil in Me by Brom and The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I loved Slewfoot by Brom, and I don't really know a ton what this is about, but I think it's about like a band, someone who's like possessed, or there's like a ring. When Ruby helps her eccentric neighbor organize his religious relics, an ancient ring clamps down on her finger, possessing her with the spirit of a bloodthirsty demon. There's no exorcising it unless hundreds of people chant a spell to set Ruby free. And what's worse, the ring is a beacon for evil, drawing a monstrous mob straight to Ruby, hungry for her flesh. Just reading that again has made me, like reading that synopsis has made me want to read this even more. So that is my answer. I want to read Evil in Me by Brom. Question number 6 is a book you're procrastinating on. And I've wanted to read The God of the Woods by Liz Moore since it came out. I think it came out in 2024, and I saw it on a lot of people's like favorite books of the year. And I didn't get a chance to get to it around to it then, and so I told myself I would definitely read it in 2025, and I didn't do that either. And this is about a 13-year-old girl who goes missing from a camp, and she's also the daughter of the family that owns the camp, and her brother disappeared 14 years earlier. So it's about the search for the girl and drama, secrets, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't know, it seems like kind of a big one. And I tend to put off like bigger books. So we'll see. I'm definitely, if I don't read this in 2026, like, what is wrong with me? Okay, the last question is the next book on your TBR. And I don't really set like a TBR. I just kind of read whatever I have or whatever comes up like on my Libby, like whatever I have like on audiobook. Bonus, if I have the physical book and the audiobook, that's almost always going to be the next book I read. But right now, the next books that I have on Libby that I want to get to are Blood Over Brighthaven by ML Wang and Julie Chan is Dead by Lian Zhang. And I don't really know what either of these ones are about because usually what makes me add a book to my TBR is I see a lot of people talk about it and I read the synopsis one time and thought it sounded interesting, and then I added it to my TBR or my want to read on Goodreads and then immediately forgot what it was about, and then when I read it finally it can be a surprise. So let me tell you though, in case you want to read these books. Okay, Blood Over Brighthaven. Okay, I just started reading the synopsis and it's actually really long. So, what are the key points? Magic has made the city of Tehran an industrial utopia, but magic has a cost. There's an orphan named Sayana who has a lot to prove in school, and they don't give her a lab assistant, they give her a janitor, but the janitor was once more than a janitor. This isn't making the book sound very appealing, but it has a 4.34 average rating on Goodreads. So just I'm just trusting the process with this one. But that's all you're going to get from me because I want to go sit on the couch in like a few minutes. So I want to be done with this video. Okay. What was the other one I mentioned? Julie Chan is Dead. Oh, and then on the flip end, this one has a 3.45 average rating on Goodreads, which honestly makes me want to read this one more because I usually love lowly rated books. And this is about, okay, now that I'm reading this, it sounds familiar. So this is about Julie Chan, who has a twin sister who's an influencer. And I think her name is Chloe. And Chloe dies, and then Julie pretends to be Chloe. And then thrilling things follow, I'm assuming. And those are all the questions. Hopefully I actually get around to reading these books sometime soon. Thank you for watching if you did, and see you in the next one. Bye.